to Take a Sip podcast. We have Carla missing today, but we are taking over. I'm Carla Germanos and Jo Diaz from JD Marketing. And we have a special guest today, Sally from
Digital.
Kalora Digital. How are you, Sally?
Yep.
Easy.
It is cold. It is freezing. And what are we sipping today, ladies?
A cup of
I
coffee,
remember
which is very
this
cold.
time. I actually remembered this time. I also have coffee.
And it's very full,
chocolate's
so
all
you must have
melted.
just
I know,
made it.
it looks so pretty.
I just made it. Yeah, and I put chocolate. I made a cappuccino, but the froth disappeared, and now it just looks like crap.
No, it looks
Looks
so
actually
pretty on
nice.
camera. I like it.
Mm.
It looks so pretty on camera.
So what is today's topic, Jo?
So today we're going to be talking about all things digital. So
Yes.
Sally here, as she mentioned, is one of the. Are you the only founder or co-founder? What's the right
A
way?
What's the
founder?
story, Sally? Tell
Founder.
us.
Because I know that I had a look on your website, but it mentioned co-founder. Is that because originally it was you and your husband?
Originally, my husband and I, but he's busy drinking wine and doing his wine podcast, and so I have to do this on my own now. So I get to drink
wanna
with you
join that.
ladies and have a cup of
Yes,
tea.
I'm not going to be
instead.
drunk today.
But,
I
yeah,
wouldn't mind
we're
doing
not-
a wine one day.
Yeah, we're not as fun, obviously.
Well, I'm guessing you might have a bit of vodka in there, Joe.
Oh,
You never
I need to
know.
spend 20 minutes.
We need to stay
After
functional
lunch,
as
yeah.
mums as well, and women in business.
Well, I think
Yes.
it kind of helps a little bit, right?
Yeah,
That's
right.
sometimes.
That's right. So Sally obviously is the founder of Kalora Digital, and so we thought we'd bring her on to talk about all things digital business, the things that are important in a business. Maybe we can talk a little bit about SEO and all of the digital techie things that I think a lot of businesses struggle with. And so I think it would be a really great informative episode for people to listen to if they're sort of on the brink of, I know that I need to update certain things, but where do I start and what do I do? What's crucial? What's not crucial? I think that we should probably start with a little bit of your background, Sally, and
Yeah, so
how Kalora Digital came about.
I've been working, well, I've started about 3 years ago now, and we create websites for small businesses to medium-sized businesses, wholesalers, also shops. And we also, which is the fun bit, the SEO part, which helps business to generate more leads so that they can get more customers when they're sleeping. And it's like word of
Love
mouth.
to sleep and earn money. That's my
Yeah.
thing.
That's the ultimate multitasking.
Yeah. It makes it so much easier when you're not always chasing or looking out for more businesses, like,
Yeah.
and
So,
customers.
do you want to explain to people what SEO stands for?
Search engine optimization.
And
In
what
a
does that
nutshell,
mean?
it's
Yeah.
in a nutshell, it's just really to get your website to be found on Google for the right keywords or the right way to be found. For what your customers are actually looking for. Let's say you're a beautician, you're going to make sure that you're found by people who are looking for beauty product and not for, let's say you don't sell product, so you don't want those keywords in there, or you're going to make sure that you want to do like facials or massages and not for actual beauty products. And also you're going to be found because a lot of time it's small businesses, you want to be found in your local areas. Let's say you don't travel outside 20k kilometers. You got to make sure you're found in the right location, and not like, let's say in Melbourne, because you don't do facials interstate.
I've had inquiries from interstate too. I'm like, it says Sydney everywhere on my website, but you will get those the random,
The odd one, but majority
yeah.
of your customers are found that are looking for you are in Sydney, because that's what you're targeting.
Yeah, yeah,
Unless they're not
exactly.
reading your website.
Yeah.
Or understanding what
A lot of people don't read. Yeah.
Oh, I can't help that then.
That is so true. Yeah, exactly. So is it safe to say that with SEO, it's a little bit of, quality over quantity?
Yes. With quantity, you still need it. Let's say I'm building up my electrician's website. He's
Mm-hmm.
targeting at the moment Liverpool, but eventually he wants to target the whole of Sydney. So we're building so many different pages for him, and pages that for different suburbs and for each area that he specializes in, like emergency um, electrician. Then we have to build a page for each area for emergency electrician. So you do
Mm.
eventually, when you want to grow your business, you do need a lot more landing pages.
So with
So,
landing
yeah.
pages, so for my website, I have blogs on any kind of topic. So what I do as well is, for example, my frequently asked question. I'll have that as the title because people do search that in
Yes.
Google, for example. So what are other creative ways to use blogs on your website so people can find you?
Let's say that there's a question for Karma does newborn photos as well sometimes,
No more.
or uh, no newborn photos. Like let's say
She's
social media
pivoted.
content.
Pivoted.
She's pivoted the whole thing. Well, let's say you do social media content, but you also do event content. So you look up when you're searching up Google. Google's so good at giving you hints and tips of what people are searching up. And right at the bottom, they go frequent asked questions as well. Use those frequent asked questions right at the bottom and make
Yeah.
a blog article about
Out
those
of each question. Yeah, exactly.
an actual whole page about it. And when you do make your blog article, make sure you have titles, subtitles. People get bored these days. People only have a with TikTok
And
and
pictures.
Instagram. Yeah, people only
What
have a
attention
short.
span.
Yeah, and so make sure you have all your important parts in the titles and the subtitles as well.
Yeah.
And make sure your important stuff at the top and not right at the bottom hidden somewhere.
Yeah, I've learnt with business for being business for so long that you can't assume people know what you do. No
Yes.
matter how many times you say it on the website, on social media, people will still ask, "Do you take photos? Do you?"
Even though you
Like,
say you're a
yeah,
photographer.
I know. You're like, it's in my brand name.
Yeah.
I've been asked that. Yeah.
Hmm. So
That's so
I,
funny.
I guess I'd love to know, Sally, when do you think is the right time for a business to, because there'd be a lot of people that are weighing up, is this something that I can do myself? Is this something that I should hire someone to do? And what is, I guess, the best way to approach that question?
Um, yes, you can do it yourself. Definitely.
Hmm.
There's so many, especially the tools and AI, it makes it so much more easier to create
Mm.
a website yourself. But are you going to get the most value? Because you're going to create it and are you going to be found in Google?
Hmm.
You know, that's kind of pointless. If you can't, if
Hmm.
but you'll most probably be found by your mum, your friends, your
Yeah,
social
because they're yeah,
surrounding, because you're giving out your website. But
yeah,
Hmm.
your actual
yeah,
customers who actually will pay and generate leads most probably won't
yeah,
be able to find you because you don't know and you're not invested in putting in the keywords in the right areas. So
yeah.
I think it's
But there's
important
also
to
the
focus on.
outside stuff, like Google crawling and all that. That's so for me. I think of a website as a house. You've built your house, but
Yes.
there's no roads to it.
Yeah.
It's a great, beautiful home, but nobody knows how to get to your home.
Mm.
So you need to have the expert advice and services from somebody like Sally to be able to create those roads and networks for Google, for example, and Bing and any other search engine to actually crawl through your website.
Yeah.
Hmm.
That is so
I think it
correct.
also sort of leans into Karma, one of our episodes that we did, where we were talking about people balancing, the time and energy that they put into
Yeah,
things and whether
exactly.
outsourcing is something that is more
Yeah.
beneficial. And it's really about weighing up your options.
Yeah.
Is it more worthwhile for you to invest for someone else to do it correctly from the get
Yeah.
go?
Yeah.
Or is this something that I want to spend hours and hours and hours and hours and
100%.
hours doing
Yeah. Yeah.
because I don't want to pay someone else to do it? And that's really the only two options that you've
Yeah.
got.
But
Honestly, I
yeah,
just
it's
pay
not just
Sally to
also
do
money. I know starting a website is expensive, but
it.
And there are a lot of dodgy people out there. So when I recommend someone like Sally, I've done my diligence to make sure I know about her, that she's honest, because I've heard too many stories, and I'm sure Sally would hear
Yes.
millions more stories of how many people have taken people's money and just haven't done anything with it. So do you want to talk about that experience? Like any story that stands out with you, Sally?
I was just talking to my pest contractor. He got his website built, and then it was total rubbish. And then he told another web developer, and he was getting his website built by another web developer, and he already knew that he got ripped off. But then when he gave his first draft of his landing page, it was total rubbish because he had free videos which isn't optimized. It will just slow down the website, and there's no keywords anywhere, and it just looked terrible. And so, and he wouldn't be found. He wouldn't be found in Google, more importantly. So it was pointless having that website.
Yeah.
And since we've taken over, he's gotten so much more leads now. He gets at least 2 inquiries a week.
What are some red flags that people should look out for when it comes to finding the right person to do their website?
Well, I think a lot of people ask, can you just build a website? And they always say yes. But you have to
they take advantage of people. Yeah.
Yeah, and they always, they can create a beautiful website, but then you gotta double check. Can they do? Can you do SEO as well? Because it's pointless having a beautiful website, when you can't even be found, like what we've said before. So you got to double check, can they do SEO? What's your experience? Can you do local SEO, because I just don't want to be found everywhere because I don't have the capacity at this stage.
Yeah.
And could you eventually, and then afterwards, they can talk you through the steps of eventually building it out, your website, to different pages, more landing pages for you.
Yeah.
Because until you grow your business as well, your web developer, your SEO specialist can grow with you as well.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So with Jo's a social media marketing agency, and you grow on social media. How important is it to have a website? Because all our platforms can be we don't own those platforms, do we? Because they're not ours. So that could be taken away at any point. So how important is it for your clients to ensure that they also have a website?
Oh, it's so important.
Oh my God, I feel like that's so important, like across. And I think, I think what people don't realize as well is that it's not like there's one thing that you have to do that's going to be the be all and end all. Like, oh, I'm on Instagram and that's enough for me. Or, oh, I'm on Facebook and that's enough for me. Like, so many people find you through so many different avenues. And again, going back to the analogy of the house, no one just has one road to their house. You have multiple ways to get to someone's house. And it's the same thing with your business.
Exactly.
You need multiple ways.
You need like a wide net.
Each of them, exactly, because each of them is sort of like a puzzle piece that goes together for more people to, because the other thing that I find is that when people find me on Instagram or they find me through socials, the first thing they'll usually ask is, have you got a website? Because to them, a website feels a lot more professional. It gives you that level of, okay, she's not just like some random girl on Instagram that's on stories
that
and
brand.
talking
You're
about
building
crap.
your brand as well. Yeah.
Exactly. And then the website is more, I've got case studies on there. I've got an about us on there. There's photos that the lovely Karma took of me. And, it sort of elevates that a little bit, which is something that I feel like you can't always achieve on social media.
It just takes to the next level that you're more professional.
Yeah, but also with social media, you always have to be doing something, whereas the website is there for you no matter what, and you don't need to constantly post something. If you can build a really amazing website, how amazing would it be that you don't need to do much social posts? And that's Sally's dream.
It's like, we don't have to do much after you created your core pages. You don't have to do much more. You have to tweak it here and there, but overall, it's not like every day you have to post something. Every day you got to take a picture. You're not holding.
Yeah, exactly. You're taking that pressure off yourself. I started my business 18 years ago just before the whole social media started, I didn't focus too much on that because my husband was really good on doing SEO, marketing, all that stuff for me. So he put me on number one on Google for certain keywords. So for christenings, I was getting calls every week. Like I was booked out, newborn and family. Before that, I was doing like corporate events and headshots and stuff. So I didn't rely on social media up until probably my website was wiped out because a lovely web person, I trusted him. I thought I trusted him, decided to move servers, and that wiped out all my SEO. And I noticed the plunge. Every week there was less inquiries, up maybe 3 months in, and there was 0 inquiries. And I was, because my husband's more, I've got some knowledge of it, like enough to understand and enough to not be kind of like taken advantage of. Whereas my husband's like, are you on Google Console? I'm like, oh, let me go check. So I logged in. I'm like, nothing's there. He didn't do the right thing by moving all my SEO. He literally just moved my house and blocked all the roads. Oh, mate, I was so devastated. But, I was thinking this is God's way of telling me to pivot. So that was probably the start of my pivot journey of moving out of the family newborn stage. This probably happened around COVID time, just before COVID. So I think it was a sign. But it was
but I think
devastating.
It's also an important reminder to really find.
You can't just blindly trust anybody. Yeah. I thought I could trust him because I worked with him. He did a lot in terms of maintaining my website. I did the SEO myself. I did all that. But he just said, "Oh, I've got a new server. Let's move over." I'm like, okay. But just take that as example for anyone listening that you need to ask the questions, and someone like Sally will actually handhold you and not just wipe out your SEO because she is an SEO specialist. How does that sound for you? Is that a familiar story, Sally? Is that something you hear more often?
Yeah, definitely. I've heard so many stories that, 1 minute you're getting so many inquiries and then next minute you get 0. But also the Google algorithm is always changing, unfortunately.
Exactly.
The Instagram and the TikTok, the algorithm is constantly changing.
You still can't, you can't just rely on one thing. You got to still kind of maintain it in the background.
And that's why it's so important just to have your presence in every single bucket. So every single social media, your website, and even my Google business profile. That's another
talk about that
as well.
I don't think people are utilizing that enough.
It's just
talk about that.
Well, it's just as important because people don't get past the first view of my Google business profile. And when we go out for when we want to go out for dinner, we always look it up. Where we only look past the first view, and we get reviews. And reviews are so important for a business. It makes or breaks a business, but we can always overcome those bad reviews as well by replying back straight away. Because you might have a bad experience, but someone else might have a great experience. It's just about how you respond to it. And then, even when you get a good review, respond back to those customers because, they've taken the time to actually make a review for you.
And the notification pops up, so there's no excuse.
Exactly.
And also about making sure that you have the right keywords in your Google business profile as well, so that you're showing up in the right areas, making sure that if you're going to set up your business name, set it up in one way across all platforms, from your websites to your social media. Make sure that they're all consistent. It makes it easier for Google to understand, for your other social media platforms to understand. Google loves consistency. Even your phone number, are you gonna put 0297 whatnot, or are you gonna just put the 972? Make sure they put in the same way each time. If you're gonna put a PO box, put the PO box dot. If you're gonna put a dot, then make sure that it's done the same way across all platforms. Because Google love consistency, so that they actually understand who you are. It just makes it easier.
So with the Google, your Google page on Google, you can put photos and videos as well. your
Yes.
services, any specials.
Yep.
What else was there? There's so many. Your own gallery
Location.
as
There's so
well.
many things.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and that also
Location as
helps.
well. Make sure, and if your customers could um, say where they will service, what service they provide, then that would be even better for you.
Mm-hmm.
You know, hint to your customers how to enter these Google reviews, because after you've done a service, send out that Google review so that they can actually enter into the system for you. So
Mm-hmm.
So
get it straight away, and then respond back
Yeah.
straight away.
Yes.
good. Excellent.
Mm-hmm. And I know that all of this sounds really like a lot. And I think that most people that are small business owners or even medium business owners would just
Mm,
be sitting there going, I don't have time to do any of those things. Like, I don't have time to do this. But I know that, for example, from a marketing perspective, there are so many automations now that you can put in
yeah,
place. So, for example,
Yeah.
if one of your key areas is trying to find Google reviews, then you can set up automation so that as soon as someone purchases something or as soon as someone sends out,
mm,
an invoice gets sent out or anything like that, that it triggers an email, get a Google review and try and simplify it in that way. So there are definitely ways that we can implement all of these things without it taking up your whole day.
yeah.
I think that's an important thing for people to remember. And so I had one question for you. If someone were to approach you and say to you, okay, I've got a really, really small budget, where do I start? What is sort of your one thing that you would recommend for them to look at first?
I would say definitely look at your keywords. Make sure
Mm-hmm.
your on-page SEO is on par. Like, because if you make a few tweaks here and there, it makes the biggest difference. I've made a little tweak to a plumber who was sitting page 10 of Google. We've just changed a few words in his titles and his subtitles. Slowly, he's now moving up the rank in a very competitive area and in a competitive niche as well. So I reckon just look at your titles and the
Mm-hmm.
keywords. So your on-page
Mm-hmm.
SEO. That's the
Mm-hmm.
biggest take I will do. And then if you have a bit more budget, then we can do all the other stuff.
Yeah, okay. I like that you just brought up slowly
Yeah.
because I think that's the other misconception is that, okay, well, I'm going to change all of this and like, tomorrow, why don't I have like 600
Yes.
inquiries sitting in my inbox? Can you talk a little bit about, I guess, how that process sort of works and why patience is key?
Cool. SEO just does not happen overnight. It's not like Instagram where people are able to see one of your posts, 1,000 people. Google, it takes its time to see, where you fit, and then after a while, it reviews your because it has to crawl through so many websites, and then afterwards it'll crawl through your websites, and then eventually it'll go to another website, and then it'll come back to your website, and then slowly it'll go, okay, I'm going to move you up in ranking because I've seen a bit more improvement. So it takes about, I will say, about 3 to 6 months before you see drastic changes where you'll be moving
Mm-hmm.
up in the ranking. You just got to be patient, unfortunately. I know in
That-
this
That's patience in
day,
everything, business or growing a plant, building
but
a house.
everyone in
Raising a
today's
child.
society just wants to get
Just water the
instant
child.
result, right?
Yeah,
Everyone
well,
just
like
wants
I said, if
That's
everyone
right.
can go back to the house analogy, you're
yeah.
building it step by step. It's not an overnight thing.
As
And
long
that's
as you
something
have
we
the
need to
foundation right,
100%.
from the beginning.
We can swing off that.
Yeah.
So, from a web developer's perspective, I'd love to hear what your thoughts are on how social media and a website kind of go hand in hand. Do you think that they're both still as important as each other?
Oh, 100%. It's you know, because a website could be it, and how we just talked about SEO. It takes its time and might be a while
Mm-hmm.
before you get moving up in the ranking. But social media, you could be seen by thousands of people and be instance. And then after then, because if you link your social media to your website, then people will jump onto your website more. So they
Mm-hmm.
definitely go hand in hand.
Mm-hmm.
So it's the
So,
digital
Sally
platform.
is
And it's
such a social
yours.
media expert now.
Such a social media expert. Thanks, Joe.
So, what other ways you can use your website? Like, for example, subscriptions. How, like, as well, going back to, let's say you've lost your platform. There's no other way to contact your customers. What's another way we can utilize our website to continue connecting with our customers or people?
Or newsletters or subscriptions. It's important for all digital platforms to create a database, right? So that if any of your platform crash, you still have your subscription list. You're still able to send out your promotions to your customers, and so it's so important to build up your database. And maybe eventually, because you have such a good database, because when you sell out your business, it becomes more valuable. You can sell it up
Yeah.
for so much higher.
Yeah.
People value these databases now.
Yeah. Oh, that's
Yeah.
good. And with Joe
Yeah,
as
'cause they're
well,
warm
you
leads. Yeah,
specialize in Shopify.
Yeah.
You've got
correct.
that option as well on
Yeah,
Shopify.
so yeah, definitely. And it's sort of the same. I mean, websites in general kind of run the same. The only difference is that they're just built on different platforms, but they 100%, and I completely agree with everything that Sally said. Database is so important because, again, like how we were talking about, where with social media, we don't own the platforms. For example, one of the ladies that is in Business Mums, she recently just lost her Instagram, and yeah, and so because she just disappeared. She was one of those people that was posting every single day, and I remember seeing all her stuff, and um and I was like, oh, and then all of a sudden I just realized, oh, I haven't heard from her
She
in
never
so
said
long. Like, where is
anything. Why didn't
she?
she say anything in the
Yeah.
chat?
Well, because she completely, yeah, and she did, yeah, exactly. And so she didn't say anything. And then when we went to our last coffee catch up and we spoke to her, and then she said, oh, yeah, no, so her Instagram got blocked, like it got taken off her, it was suspended because someone reported her. She tried to appeal it and it just didn't work. And not like she was posting anything terrible on there, like it
It's
was
Yeah.
so
just
strange.
nothing.
If yeah,
And so she hasn't been able to get her platform back. And again,
Mm-hmm.
we don't own our social media.
yeah, it's not
We run
ours.
Mm.
our social
So,
media accounts, and yes, they can generate so much, but at the end of the day, you don't own it. And
Mm.
unfortunately, even though I do Shopify, but Shopify kind of is similar, where
what is
we
it?
are at the mercy of Shopify. It's not like a
Oh,
WordPress site. WordPress is a lot more flexible and you have a lot more ownership of it. Shopify is just another platform where it can also be suspended.
Yes.
Um,
I didn't know that. Well, I
yeah.
guess it's like
But I will
eBay and
say
all that
that,
too. Yeah.
correct, yeah. But I will say that both platforms have their pros and cons. Shopify is built to be a lot more user friendly. It's made so that it's
Mm.
more, if you are very basic, you only know very basic web things. It's very easy to use. It's very easy to manage. It's very easy to build something on there from scratch in comparison to WordPress. But then obviously as you grow, you
Still got to do
evolve,
the
you
SEO behind
change.
it.
You still got to do
Yes.
the
And all the
SEO.
little
You s-
add-ons.
Yeah.
correct, and
And
Shopify can
Shopify.
become very expensive.
Yeah. I was about to say that. Shopify ends up being very
Yes.
expensive because
Can you
when you
create
grow.
something like Shopify in WordPress, Sally? If
Yeah, you
someone
definitely
wanted to
can.
own it, is it
Yeah.
Yeah.
user
If you
friendly,
and
easier?
um yes, WordPress is becoming more user friendlier and becoming a lot
Mhm.
more easier because they're creating more templates now, and
Mhm.
making you just a click and drop. Um, and so they are growing and becoming more like Shopify. And Shopify really is aiming for the e-commerce market, and it's
Correct.
yeah.
Yeah,
And if you have an
yeah.
e-commerce, it's you know it's a great platform for you. And if you have like a service-based business, it's easier to get a WordPress website because you're not
Mhm.
changing as much, and it
Hmm.
doesn't need as much plugins compared to
Plugins and all that stuff.
Mhm.
But
yeah,
you can
Yeah.
still, so
And
Joe,
yeah,
you can still collect
ultimately.
people's data though. You can still
yeah,
collect
for
Absolutely.
both
email
of them.
and
Yeah,
download it for
Absolutely.
yourself. Yeah.
yeah, for
Yeah,
both of them.
Okay.
absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. But yeah, they're both are very similar, and they're both good platforms. But Shopify is more target to e-commerce, and WordPress is more like service-based businesses because we're not constantly selling an item. unless you're selling like my electrician who's going to be selling air conditioning packages, we're still going to do it on WordPress because he's not selling thousands of products.
Yeah, it's still a service, predominantly a service-based business.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, correct.
So it's, you
Yeah.
know,
Interesting, very interesting. Yeah.
Yeah.
Do we have
There's a
any
little
more
bit of,
questions or?
I think I'd like to know a little bit about, Sally, what do you think the future holds for digital and business? Do you think that we'll see a lot more change? Do you think that, people are going to start wanting to do things more themselves? I guess, what's your hot take?
with AI coming on board or taking over the world already,
Yeah.
actually.
Yeah. I
I
know,
think it's a hot
everything's
topic.
AI
Like,
now.
yeah, but like with all changes, with all technology changes, it becomes like a really hot topic, and we go, "Oh my God, that's going to take over! It's going to take over all our jobs. It's going to do everything for us." But it's, we just have to learn and adapt, and also, you know, use it wisely, and it makes our life so much more efficient with AI as well.
Yeah, I love AI.
Yeah, I love AI too. Social media and website are always going to play an important part because people are always going to go look up to your website and see how trustworthy you are and are you a professional. It's just how, you know, it's just going to be adapting your website with AI and your social media, just adding those other elements to your, digital platform. So yes, no, I think, websites are just going to always be important. It's just adapting it with the other platforms as well.
Yeah.
Yep,
Oh,
definitely. But I think it's also a fine line between, implementing AI and taking advantage of it and not being reliant on it.
Oh
Because
yeah,
I think a lot of people have become so reliant on ChatGPT, AI, whatever you want to call
Yeah.
it.
No, you still
Um,
got to put your own
and
touch to everything.
that's right. And it almost, you lose some of that personality behind a brand, behind a business, because everything is just so AI generated now. I see
yeah,
M dashes everywhere.
Yeah.
And yeah, gosh, the M dashes. And yeah, and I think that's sort of one thing that I would recommend to people is that I'm not saying don't use ChatGPT. We all use ChatGPT. I probably use ChatGPT more than I Google things nowadays.
yeah,
Yeah.
Um, and and if you are using it for your business, just to remember that your brand and your personality cannot be replaced by ChatGPT. Like, take what they say, add your own flair to it, and then use it, because otherwise it's just, we can
yeah.
tell. We can tell you're using ChatGPT.
But isn't it the same? Like I feel like big companies are now reaching out to smaller brands because they want a personalized feel to it. They want the human side, not just the AI bot, because they could just easily generate those themselves. They want to connect to their community through having personality and not just like everyone else. And you can do that with your website as well. When you write a content, write it and then either get AI to edit it afterwards or get AI to write it, and then you edit afterwards. Put your personality and your flair, because it's just so important these days to have your
Yeah.
personality.
Yeah,
I write,
absolutely.
I write, I
Definitely.
write as much as I can, and then I get it to kind of. I literally say, "Can you just make this make sense?" I'm just like gibbering.
Makes sense.
Just make it make sense.
Okay, can we rewrite it, but put my personality in it?
Yeah, yeah.
Because
Yeah.
after
This
a
is
while,
how.
because you've trained it so often that AI knows that
Yeah.
your personality and how you write things, right?
Yeah,
So you,
definitely. Yeah.
yeah,
It's
that's
a
why it's
very
so.
smart machine. It's scary.
I was actually coming home earlier. I was just listening to Carl and Jackie O, and they were talking about AI hallucination, where AI does not know all the facts. That it actually just fills in the gap what they think is the next, the right answer. So it doesn't always have the right facts. So it's just filling in gaps for you and making it
Yeah,
sound
just
very
take
nice.
everything that it says with a grain of salt.
Yeah, yes.
Yeah.
So you got to double check your facts too.
Yeah, exactly.
I know we're
Exactly. And
so
again,
heavily
it's
relying on
not
it.
becoming exactly, it's not becoming so reliant on it because it's an amazing piece of
Mm,
equipment. It's an amazing tool to have, but remember that it's just a tool. It's not the be all and end all of your
yes.
business. So, always just double check the facts. At one point, it didn't know how many R's there were in strawberry. So just remember that.
Well, I'm sure this is what happened back in the days when Google just came out, right? Everyone was gonna
Yeah.
would have
Yeah.
talked about and talked about the searching and how much heavily reliant on the search engine. So it's the same thing. I feel like it just goes through the waves. That's the
That's
digital
right.
platforms.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Beautiful. Well, thank you so much, Sally, for coming on and giving us all of the digital advice. It's been really good to pick your brain because I know that you know a lot of
Thank
things
you so
that
much.
the average Joe would not know.
Or
Like
even
SEO.
aware of, or just anyone in business
No.
that needs a website. Like people just want to be able to trust somebody, and I feel like having someone that you can trust to do a website is one of the most important things in business. And I don't
Hmm.
recommend just anybody. I have to use them first, or I have to know them first before I can recommend, especially for a
Yeah,
website. Yeah.
absolutely. Yeah. And it's so true. I've recommended Sally to, gosh, I don't even know how many people
Yeah.
because it's one of those things that like you really I know that so many people will go the cheap route, but the cheap route can sometimes end up costing you so much more
Oh, but
money.
people still go for the expensive route and get
Mm,
Yeah.
done for. Like one
yeah,
of her clients, they got had to pay up
yeah.
front before they even did
Yeah.
anything. So, yeah.
And he's still
Anyway,
trying to get his money back. I feel sorry for him.
Oh
did he pay with
gosh,
PayPal?
No, he paid bank
Just
transfer.
bank
transfer.
Like
transfer.
why the whole lot? At least partial payment.
Oh, and
Yeah.
that's good. It's not. So I know that when I'm building a Shopify site, it's a deposit up front and then it's the remainder. So it's 50-50. You 50% up front
Yeah.
and 50% upon completion. Because
Yeah,
then we're both being secure about it.
Yeah.
yeah.
Exactly.
I'm surprised he paid
But
the whole
upfront
lot up
payment.
front.
I
He must
Yeah.
have
know.
been a good salesman.
Well, now
Mm.
he's terrible deliverer. It's,
Gosh.
I feel sorry for him. The poor guy.
Yeah,
Been
I
had a
know.
ride on for two
I'm
web
glad he found
developers.
you and that he can move forward from that. So
That's
he'll
right.
probably, hopefully, make the
Absolutely.
money up, triple the amount.
Okay. Yeah.
You got this, Sally.
Right. Well,
We're
again, thank you so much, ladies, for coming on and
Thank
having
you.
this very important conversation. And we'll see you guys on the next one.
Yes,
Thanks,
see you.
ladies.
Bye.
Bye.